Within the 1.9 seasonal update, 5 brand new abilities are released alongside housing: planting, construction, fish keeping, animal inviting, and star collecting. Planting and construction are unlocked within the housing introduction quest, Life in a Warm Place, and the rest can be unlocked with ability permits, unlocked as you progress home ability levels. In today's video, let's take a closer look at planting and construction. The planting ability is unlocked in the housing intro tutorial with the help of Posy. Once we get the sketch and craft it, the ability is fully unlocked. Planting is used to sow seeds and give nutrients to crops. Nutrients help reduce time taken for them to grow. Crops include various flowers and trees. We can even plant with seeds from Miraland as we continue to upgrade. These crops can be used for crafting various items and furniture, and even rainbow paint for dyeing unlocks. We also have the option to sell back crops for astrolites over at Posy through Yardling purchase. In order to use planting, we can swap to it in the ability wheel. With it selected, we have the options to plant or swap the seed option at level 1 and 2. When we upgrade to level 3, we can unlock an extra function through ability fusion. This combines Purify and planting, so you can use Purify to sow seeds swiftly. When planting, if we do not have the seeds available, we do have the option to purchase seeds right on the spot. We can also visit Posy to buy seeds in the Yardling shop, under Ability Item and Planting tabs. After planting, we can step near the plots to check on their time. We can also interact to check on them, and have the option to remove, which will give us the seed back if we planted the wrong thing. We can also use nutrients to speed up their growth. Stand over a field plot, and use the ability key to place dew. If you wish to swap the dew used, the same hotkey for changing the seeds will now be used for swapping options from the dew list. The basic dew is free and infinite usage. This reduces by 20 minutes. As we upgrade our ability, more dew options will become available to reduce even further time. To harvest crops, we just need to interact with each plot. When it comes to larger ones such as trees, we can even transplant them, so we can then pick them up and even use them as an option for placing them on our island later. Different plots can only sustain certain crops, so be sure to choose the correct seeds when trying to plant. Let's take a closer look at the ability fusion option. With the opportunity to combine with Purify, it speeds up planting a whole field at once. Remember to not use the regular Purify, but be sure to use the new version of your home ability that's indicated. On PC, the hotkey is R. It shoots straight ahead, so aiming over the fields is almost like its own minigame. As a quick building tip, you can have fields directly adjacent to each other to make this easier, by holding down the confirm key and dragging over the ground. Remember, you can only place as many fields as you currently have unlocked and own. Next, let's look at what unlocks as you upgrade planting further. We started out with field expansions, home cultivation, and using our first set of dew. When leveling to level 2, we get some extra fields, and we also start getting the ability of seed collection from white quality Miraland plants. Level 3 is where we get our ability fusion. This is where we combine with Purify to quickly sow seeds. A majority of the upgrades along the way is field expansion and home cultivation, which refers to extra crop seeds. We also get new dew recipes, the ability to get seeds from other plants in Miraland. Home Essence sounds similar to the essences that we gain from unlocking within our Heart of Infinity for our original abilities. At level 7, we get a price boost on our crops, and at level 10, we even get a furniture sketch for a floral woven basket. A majority of the upgrades will continuously allow us to expand on our fields and have many more crops that we can work with for much more options. This ability really has so much potential to help us with gathering materials when we can plant them conveniently at our home. I can't wait to add more Miraland trees and flowers to decorate with. I do think it will primarily be used for a majority of housing crafting materials. Let's take a closer look at construction. Construction ability is unlocked in the housing intro tutorial, after Posy hands over an ability permit to teach us more about crafting furniture. Once we get the sketch and craft it, the ability is fully unlocked. Construction is what allows us access to the crafting table, and swapping into the build function allows us to decorate and fully customize our home island. We can start from scratch, or use presets to build off of to truly make something unique. As we level up the ability, we can get access to ability fusions to help us customize even further for more angles and heights. And even more edit tools for more customization options. To start constructing, swap to it in the ability wheel. With the ability selected, activate it to swap into build mode. While in build mode, we have access to everything available on buildable areas of the island, and any other decorations or furniture we have unlocked through gameplay or crafted. We can place, edit, copy, rotate, and even dye items. As we upgrade the ability further, we can get even more tools and options opened up to us. We can edit items that are already out as much as we want. If we don't like a change that we made on an item, we may also just cancel and it will slip back to its original spot. Layout on the island can also be saved as schemes and shared. Keep in mind that share codes are region specific. What is also really nice is how you can edit and move things like planting fields and it does not disrupt them growing. With access to the crafting table, this is also the hub of where we can create paint and extra furniture through unlocked sketches. Construction is unique in that it has 2 ability fusion options. At level 2, which we unlocked during the housing story, unlock the fusion with floating. This allows us to create platforms in the air to continue building upward. These platforms can also be moved around, edited, and removed. With the gliding fusion unlocked at Construction 4, we actually have a really easy way to navigate in the air and around the island. You can even smoothly move up or down by using the forward or backward keys and facing the ground. This one also has the ability to create tiles along the path you're gliding along. It's so interesting. You can make tracks to get to different areas of the island. Maybe someone would make something cart themed even. Very curious to see how these can be utilized. One thing to note is you do need to be close to the pieces to choose what you want to edit, but you can place them pretty far away. We'll definitely have to play with the settings more with this one. Let's next take a look at what upgrading the ability further has to offer. Leveling up construction will give us much better tools to work with when building. We saw some examples of these from the marketing materials and videos. The ability starts out with some basics such as batch placing. And at level 2, we get our first ability fusion, which is working alongside floating. And we unlock our first decor catalog to work with, and our first load expansion for the island. Level 3 is clipping construction. This allows us the ability to clip items into and through each other, which should give us much more creative freedom. Yardling updates also refer to extra sketches unlocked in the shop over by Posey. And crafting expansions refer to extra slots over at the crafting table. At level 4, we get our second ability fusion, which combines with gliding, which looks like it's going to be super convenient, especially for working at different angles and up in the air. The biggest thing about level 4, I would say, is the multi-select grouping. It allows you to select multiple pieces at once and then move them all together, even rotate them, etc. And we can also save them as their own schemes called combinations. At level 5, we can look forward to doing the free rotate, which should allow us to rotate in all directions. Level 6 also has a decor catalog, unlock, and free resize. This should mean that we should be able to also scale items up or down, which should allow us to let our imaginations run wild. Imagine giant plushies and tiny chairs. Along the rest of the levels, we see extra sale booths, crafting expansions, load expansions, and even more decor catalogs. I would personally suggest to make it a goal to get to level 6 to get all the tools available for building. Now let's take a much closer look at the whole build UI and options available to get a better understanding of what we can do in build mode. In the build UI, we have an item bar where we can swap to which items we currently want to work with. On PC, the hotkey is B to bring it right up. And here we can choose what we want to work with. We have furniture structures within their own categories, and then further other categories to filter through. So for example, if you have decorations unlocked from the gacha, you would find it under decorative furniture casual. Here things are split onto whether it's a structure or considered furniture. For example, landscaping items are considered furniture. You can change things with the filter. For example, we can only put what is in stock. And we do have a couple of presets over here. And we can also choose things to go onto the bar to utilize. So we can quick swap to them on the fly. On the top, we have the load limits, It'll dictate how much you're using and how much is left of the maximum capacity. On the top right of the build UI will be the most important parts to understand to really refine our ideas and what we want to do with building. Under Y, we can create and import schemes. Schemes are a way to share your island layouts. And combinations, from my understanding, are where you can share your group furniture layouts. On the next one, we have two really important options, honestly. We have a clear all. These will take all the current buildable, usable items on the island and bring them back straight into your inventory. Keep in mind that if you have, like it says here, unharvested crops, fish, etc., it's going to clear everything and then you're going to have to replant all of that. This is exactly how you can get a very clean looking island to work with straight from the ground up. The other option, recover from stuck, what this does, let's say you're stuck under landscaping, something happens, you fall through the floor accidentally, you can recover from stuck, and it resets your position on the island to the default state. And then you can head back straight to your buildable area. And when you get back into build mode, you can actually restore your last save state, essentially. So if you're in the middle of working something and you got stuck, do not relog, just use the recovery, so that way you can save your progress every time. And the gear icon here, this is going to be your most important set of options. This will allow you to refine how you want to move, snap things, allow them to collide, etc., etc. And these options are split between furniture and structures as mentioned a little earlier. So for example, from level 2 construction, we have the floating option added, and we could choose to turn that on or off. At level 3, we can get the collision settings, and this will allow pieces to either move into each other or not. Single rotation distance, this is basically choosing how many degrees things will rotate when you rotate. So you can go as low as 1, or spin things at 90 degrees every time. For the placement range, and we could choose to change this up. Maybe if you're decorating a room, it's a little bit of a tighter area, you can go into the close options to make it a bit easier. And for rotate together, this means that items will either rotate as Nikki moves around or not. And we get the same set of options for structures. Also, for some extra info, I tested how high we can actually build up. I was just way too curious. We can actually get really, really far up. We can even dwarf the mountain on the other side of the island, which I find impressive, honestly. To help get a better idea of the height, using the corner pillar, I stacked these as far as I could and placed rocks so I could count out each one. The world and max height is 25 pillars high. And for a height reference, the preset house is about 4 pillars high. This gives us a lot of space to work with, and we really have a visual of what's possible. Construction is, in my opinion, the strongest ability of housing, where we can play around, customize, and truly make the island our own home. To upgrade our abilities, we need Home Insight and Astrolites. To gain Home Insight, we can use any combination of home abilities or picking up completed furniture crafts. For example, planting seeds is 2 insight per planted field, or 5 each for harvesting crops. This also applies to harvesting from Miraland trees and crops, such as a wool fruit tree will be 15 insight daily, 5 each per fruit, 3 fruits per tree. Other examples for insight from other abilities include picking up items at the craft bench reward 5 insight each. Harvesting fish is also 5 each. And grooming also rewards 5 per animal. There is a limit of 100 home insight a day. For Astrolites, we can gain more from selling back items or crops through yardling purchase, over at Posy. We can also purify the Astral tree, which passively accumulates them. Thanks so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, so I know this video helped you out today. Check out my socials for more content, or become a member of the channel if you'd like to show your support. I really appreciate you all so much, and I hope to see you again next time.